Hey everybody, let's take a quick look at Netflix as we head into July 1st, 2019. July 4th is the release of their biggest content, their most popular piece of content that they've got going right now, Stranger Things is season 3. And they've got the whole cast doing the late night shows last week, and they're going to be following through on that this week. So this is a potential week where they can really shine and maybe break out of a clear pattern of resistance that they've been under. Of all of our momentum stocks, Netflix is the one that is the king of using the 80 handle rule. You'll see this stock habitually go from a level that ends in $50 to a level that ends in $60 to $65 to a level that ends in $80 and then move on to that next $100 level. And as you can see, here is or maybe you can't see, maybe this doesn't look very clear to you, but here is a daily chart backed out showing about a little over a year of movement for the stock. And we can see that the all-time high was reached last summer at 423. This was reached on June 21st. And then it got into earnings and it sold off from there, and it had sort of got into this down channel that moved it on down. But the telltale signs of it failing was that it had this classic 80 handle rule failure. It made it up to 400, it came down, it lost its $400 level, it gapped down below that $400 level to about 380, and then from 380 it dropped to 360 to 350 and so on and so forth until it finally reached its low with the rest of the market here in December down at 220. Let's see, 231. And then as it climbed its way back, you could see it consolidated here at 267. Then it passed to 350, where it sort of consolidated and failed once again. And then it has been basically sitting here in a sideways motion, trading between 350 to 380. And when it loses 350, it presses down and tests 300. So with its biggest piece of content coming up and the typical kind of run-up we see Netflix make before earnings, this is really primed and ready to make its move this week as long as the broader market cooperates. And the move it's going to make, and you're going to know it when it happens, is going to finally break through and close above 385. It's got a huge gap to fill that would take it up to 400 that goes all the way back to last July 16th close and gap. And then above that, it would go on to try and make a new all-time high above 423. So what you're looking for coming into the week, and if we get in a little closer here on the chart and look at it more closely, we can see that it has been holding its group of simple moving averages here. The 50 and the 100-day are kind of in a sort of a parallel move together, but the 10-day simple moving average is just crossed up through the pair, and this is sort of giving way to a nice little rally here. Didn't have such a great day on Friday, though. You would think if the broader market was rallying, Netflix would go with it. So let's see if it follows through on Monday, and if it does, it should break out. It should continue holding its lows above 360 to 365, moving on out and moving towards that 380 to 385 handle. And you can see that the last group of highs failed right here at that overhead gap resistance from last July at 386.80. So that rhymes with our 80 handle rule. If it can break through 380 to 385 on a closing basis, it's got a good shot at 400, and of course over 400, then a new all-time high from there. If it's going to fall back down, it's going to break the 10-day, and then you've got to watch this pair of simple moving averages here, the 50 and the 100-day, which are right there at that 360 level. So this is, a combination of using your simple moving averages and your 80 handle rule to help you trade Netflix. Because if it breaks 360, it's going to 350. What's at 350? That's your 20-day simple moving average on down to this little gap that it's got to fill down here at June 17th. Close at 350.62 to be exact. And I will mark that as a proper gap on this chart and post it along with this short video. Hope that helps you trade Netflix. Could be a good mover this week. Got a good catalyst with the lead up into Stranger Things. And of course, Netflix is always the first one out of our whole batch of momentum and FANG stocks to report earnings. And there's such a report on the 17th, so that's coming up quickly. Anyway, have a good rest of your Sunday. Enjoy.